Hey YouTube, this is Brendan with Hughesback Prep, the video to help you understand how you can interpret quadratic equations. In the last video, we described how to convert from standard equations into quadratic equations, but in this video, we want to discuss how you can take these equations and put them into words. So what I have at the top here is the standard vertex equation, y equals a times x minus h squared plus k. And just know that for this equation, the vertex is equal to h comma k. So it's going to be h comma k. Now, when we talk about vertex equations, are the vertex form of a quadratic equation. It is an equation that has either a maximum value or a minimum value, and that depends on this value right here, a. Now, when a is greater than 0, what we're going to have is we're going to have a parabola that opens upward. So we're going to have something that maybe looks, I don't know, something like this. And what we can see here is that we very clearly have a minimum value. And the coordinates of that minimum value are going to be the point h comma k, where h is in the same position as the x coordinate, or is the x coordinate of the minimum, and k is going to be the y coordinate of the minimum. So that allows us to generalize how we can interpret a quadratic equation that's presented in vertex form. And that's through this statement right here. We can say that y reaches a minimum of k. So the smallest y value that we receive, or that we get to, is whatever k is. And this happens when x is equal to h. Now, on the flip side of that, if we have something like this, where we have a negative value of a, well, what's going to happen here is that our vertex h comma k is going to represent a max, and h is going to be the x coordinate where the max occurs, or when it occurs, depending on its time or position, and y is going to be the actual maximum value that our function gets. So that's what it looks like in kind of an abstract way. But if we scroll down here, we can go ahead and we can look at a more concrete example. So in this example, we state that the profit in thousands of dollars, and that's important, a P of a sneaker company may be modeled by the quadratic equation below, where x represents the number of sneakers sold. Describe the meaning of 240 and 1500 in the context of this problem. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to recognize that my a value is less than 0. Now, when your a value is less than 0, we remember from up here that that's the case where we have a parabola that's opening downward, which means that we're going to have a maximum. Now here, the maximum profit, so y is kind of like the p, we would say we have a maximum profit of, in this case, 1500 is the k value. But what is P? Well, remember that 1500, that's not just 1500, that's in thousands of dollars. So we're going to have $1,500,000, which can be written a number of ways. We can write it as 1,500,000, which is kind of awkward looking. We could write it as 1,500,000. And we could also write it as 1.5 million. It could be written any one of those ways. But we would have a maximum profit of, I prefer 1.5 million. Sounds very nice. And that's going to happen when x is 240. Now, 240 here represents the number of sneakers sold. So I would say I have a maximum profit of 1.5 million when 240 sneakers are sold. And that's how you want to interpret quadratic equations in vertex form. Hopefully you found this video helpful. Thank you for watching.